Hare Krishna. So today is the appearance day?
Disappearance day.
Disappearance day of Ramananda Roy. We're here in New York, and we're here actually in the very place where Prabhupada started everything, in 26 2nd Avenue. So we take the chance to remember Ramananda Roy a little bit. Namam Vishnu Padaya Krishna Presaya Bhutale Shrimati Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Sarasvati Devi Gauravani Pacharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashyata Deshatarine. Shri Chaitanya Padambujam Madhupebhyo Namo Namaha Katanshid Ashraya Jesha Swapita Gandha Bhavet. I offer my humble obeisances unto the lotus feet of all the devotees who are like bumblebees humming around the lotus feet of Gauranga. Because by their mercy, even a dog can obtain something of the fragrance of that nectar that they are drinking. Katanchid ashrayam jesham. That means by taking shelter of them. Swapi, even a dog. Swa is a dog in Sanskrit. Swapi tat gandha bhavet, can have a little drop of a scent of the nectar coming from the lotus feet of Gauranga. So we have to take shelter of the bumblebees devotees who are hovering around the lotus feet of Gauranga. Because if we take shelter of them, then we can obtain taste. Gandha means fragrance, it means also taste. Nectar has fragrance and it has taste. That's how we can get a glimpse of realization. Narottam Das Thakur would say, I am doing my sadhana in association with the great Vaishnavas, because in their association one will get transcendental realization. So we want to remember about Ramananda Roy. And one devotee sent me a message yesterday asking me, what should we do on this day? How can we obtain the mercy of Ramananda Roy? I told him, well, Ramananda Roy is a person. So if you want to receive the mercy of Ramananda Roy, you have to be personal with him and approach him like a person. And understand, like, Chaitanya Charitamrita is non-different from Radha and Krishna, combined as Gaura. In the same way, the acharyas, they are not different from their name. They are not different from the katha describing them. They are not different from their books. They are not different from when we remember them. That's also a reality. It's not that I am thinking about Napoleon. When I'm thinking about Napoleon, I'm just thinking about some history in the past. I can't connect to that history. I can, by the dint of the super soul who is in everyone's heart. Krishna can make me experience something. But when we speak about the eternal associates of Radha and Krishna, they are always present. Like Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, he reasons heals he who thinks that Vaishnavas dies when they are still living in sound. What sound? In which kind of sound the Vaishnava are still living in the sound of their own sound, in their books. That's why I'll say always to the devotee, the books of the Vaishnavas, they are not books, they are persons. Just these persons being transcendental, like Krishna, they are able to come to you in form of books. And that's a very interesting thing to understand. When we open the book, Prabhupada said, Vrindavan, Kartik 1972, he said, if you read Nectar of Devotion, you are directly associating with Rupa Goswami. I searched for it and I found it back lately. And then he said, and if you're following the instruction that Rupa Goswami gives in Nectar of Devotion, then you are directly serving his lotus feet. So that means these books, they are not unreal. They are more real than anything we can see in this world, because New York is not real. Any city of the world, they are not real. They are temporary. They manifest for some time and then they will disappear. And they are made of material energy, which is illusory ultimately, because it's not reality, it's not eternal. But the books of the Goswami, they are eternal. The Goswamis are eternal. And when we open the books, if we do it with the understanding that I'm not opening a book, I am now coming in contact with Ramananda Roy, for example, then it's true, it's a reality, that we access to that reality. So we have only one book from Ramananda Roy, which is Jagannath Vallabha Nataka. Is it? Jagannath Vallabha Nataka. But I'm not going to speak from Jagannath Vallabha Nataka. I'm going to speak more about what Kaviraj Goswami tells us about Ramananda Roy from Chaitanya Charitamrita, because they are also present in Chaitanya Charitamrita whenever we speak about them. So that's also a sound form in which they exist. Ramananda Roy is accessible. But we have to give them space in our life. If we want to meet them, we have to give them space, a little time and a little space in our daily life. Then we will connect with them. And if we connect with someone on a daily basis, we have experience of this even in our world, then gradually, day after day, we come to know this person a little bit more and a little bit more and a little bit more. And if you come in contact with someone on a daily basis, after 1 year, you quite start to know this person. Same thing with our acharya. It works. If someone takes the little sacrifice to 5 minutes every day, offer some flowers at the feet of Ramananda Roy, offer him a garland, be it only that little thing, every time, every day when I chant, let me take some few, I would say, seconds. It's not even minutes. Let me take just few seconds. I offer these few seconds to Ramananda Roy because I want to have experience of Ramananda Roy. I want to become Ramananda Roy's near one, dear one. If Ramananda Roy appreciates me, or Swarup Damodar, of Rupa, or any of them, then my going back to Vraj is guaranteed, because they'll make sure that I'll come back to them, because then they'll wait for me, and they will want me back. Why? Because I already connected with them. So when we know friends, we like our friend to be with us, It's like that. They are the embodiment of mercy. Diro diro jana priyo, Shri Chaitanya Kripa Boro Bhuvi Bhuvo. They are carrying Sri Chaitanya Kripa, the mercy of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in this world. They're carrying that mercy in their heart. So they want to give us the full mercy. So we have to take time. I invite anybody who is not already doing it, try it and you will be surprised. Every day, give a little time, offer some very beautiful flower that you know, that smells good, looks beautiful, to the feet of Ramananda Roy. And offer him a flower garland in your meditation. Then you will see. From that meditation, Ramananda Roy will start day after day to be more and more tangible. It may not happen in the first days, because you know the first day we approach someone, we don't have much contact with that person. And they are not small persons, so they can't, how to say, answer fully to anybody approaching them slightly. They yatamam prapadanti. How much deep is our approach, that much also they will reciprocate. But this is one great secret in spiritual life, how to approach the Vaishnava. Whatever we say about Ramananda Roy is also true about Swarup Damodar. I'm just taking the opportunity to say it about Ramananda Roy today, because it's his disappearance day. So we do believe that Ramananda is available, accessible at any moment of our life, if we just try to connect with him. I believe so. And my humble experience also proved that it is a reality. And okay, there are many Vaishnavas. To whom shall I offer flowers and garland every day? I would say to all those whom you want to have some relationship with. And if you don't do that, then means probably you're not really willing to have a relationship with them, because if you can't give them 5 or let's say 30 seconds of you every day, probably you're not that much interested into this person. Just be practical, you know. I'm speaking to this and this person every day, to be kind with them. Why can't I take some few moments for Ramananda Roy? It can be all because I didn't know I can do it. Then that's good. Start now. It can be because finally I don't know what I would tell him. I don't know what it's probably I'm not that much interested. If you understand who they are and what they are carrying and what they can give you the greatest gift of giving you your eternal relationship in Radha and Krishna service in Vraj. Yes, they can do that very easily. But although the Vaishnavas, they are willing to bring all souls back to Krishna, they won't also bring souls who are still messing up with everything, or who are too much confused that they'll create some troubles in the spiritual world. They have to wait first that the souls become a little bit refined, and that they are willing, deeply willing to attain Vraj. So first the Vaishnavas, that's why Guru does this, they will start to, how to say, they will start to shape us in the way that is necessary to come to Vraj. It's like if a rich man, he wants to bring you in, he's in his world, He'll probably bring you first to some shop. You can get some nice clothes, because in his world you don't enter like that. You know, you cannot come with some shorts and some Crocs. So he'll probably bring you, tailor or something like that, make you look good, and then he can bring you into his world. So that's what the associate of Radha and Krishna, they do first through sadhana and seva. They engage us bhajana kriya. Do this, do this, do that, do that. Then that's changing our heart. And then desire will appear in our heart to be with them. That's when spontaneous devotion starts. Spontaneous devotion starts when we want to meet the eternal associates of Raj, because that's the basis of spontaneous devotion. When this desire appears in my heart, that what I want before everything, what I want above everything, is to meet the associate, eternal associate of Gauranga and Radha Krishna. And that will be the guideline of my life, because that's what I want. Then it starts Raganuga, because we're following the Raga Atmika. We want to attain them. First thing, when you want to follow someone, that means you want to reach that person, you know. Following means, if I am not trying to reach that person, then I am not following, you know. You're following that person means you're trying to reach that person. So this is Raganuga Bhakti. And they will reciprocate. Ramananda Roy. He's such a merciful soul. So we wanted to read this little verse, Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Lila 11:26. Prabhu kohe tumi Krishna bhakata pradhan, tomake ye priti kare se bhagyavan. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu then said, "My dear Ramananda Roy, you are the foremost of all the devotees of Krishna. Therefore, whoever loves you is certainly a very fortunate person. My dear Ramananda Roy, you are the best of all devotees of Krishna. Whoever loves you is a very fortunate person." That means if we want to be Bhagavan Jivan, and to receive the mercy, Guru Krishna, Prasade, Pai, then we should love Ramananda Roy. Tomake ye priti kare. We should love him, because the king has shown so much love for you. Lord Krishna will certainly accept him. Very interesting, huh? So if we love Ramananda Roy, Krishna will certainly accept us. That's a very beautiful thing, because it's not difficult to love Ramananda Roy. It's not so difficult. He's such a beautiful person. Ram Ananda, one of the two persons that Mahaprabhu took with him in the Gambhira. Who is Ramananda Roy? Ramananda Roy is a Vishaka in Vraj. So Vishaka is an amazing personality. She is the best friend of Radhani. We could say the best friend of Radhani is Lalita, that's true, but the best friend is also Vishaka. She's not really second to Lalita. She's also first, but in a different mood. Lalita Saki is a kind of friend to Radharani, and Vishaka is another kind of friend. They are not exactly the same kind of friend, but they are both Radha's best friend. So Lalita, Vishaka, and Radha, they are so connected that they took birth exactly at the same moment. They have exactly the same age. They have the same qualities. And they exactly look alike. They look exactly the same. So much so in Vidagdha Madhava, when Krishna saw Vishaka, he said, "Is this another Radha?" He was confused because Radharani was there also. Then he saw Vishaka and he was confused. How come there are two Radha? That means how she looks like Radharani. So close at heart to Radha that she's like a twin of Radha. She's not a twin, but she's like a twin. She's like a clone of Radha, we could say. Though she's not a clone, there are also slight differences, but so close at heart, because the Swarup also is an example of the heart. So if she is exactly looking like Radha, that means she's so connected to Radha in his heart. There are other personalities in Vraj who look exactly like Radharani. The other one is Rupa Manjari. She looks exactly like Radha, as a little Radha. That's why she's called Rupa, because she's the embodiment of Radharani's form. So she really looks like Radha. The other person is Subal. Subal looks like Radha. We say in French, like 2 drops of water. So much so that if Subal and Radharani exchange their clothes, even Krishna cannot see that this is Radha in Subal's clothes. And Jatila cannot see that this is Subal in Radharani's clothes. And another person also looks like Radharani, her younger sister, because that's natural. When you're brother and sister, you have some similar look. So Vishaka, she is so close at heart to Radha. In the sky, there are stars. And in Vraj, when a young girl will take birth, they will be given names of flowers or names of stars, most of the time. That's why you have Champakalata, who is a flower Champaka. We have Tulasi, we could say, maybe also coming from that. So many would have names of flower.
Malati.
Malati, exactly.
Kundalata.
Kundalata, Hemalata. Lata means plant, golden vine. So these were the kind of name they would give, or stars. So Vishaka is the name of a nakshatra, a constellation in the sky, one of the 27, we could say, moon mansion. The moon goes through 27 mansions, called nakshatra in Sanskrit, as it moves through the starry sky. And one of these nakshatra is named Vishaka. And the nakshatra, they are identified by a main star. The main star is named Vishaka. That's a brilliant star. And this nakshatra comes just before Scorpius in the sky, if you can recognize. This winter I was in Mayapur, and when the month of March came, it was beautiful, because every morning when we would wake up to go to the Mangal Aarti, walking in the jungle, we would have the Scorpius exactly in front of us. So we would see also in front of the Scorpius, we would see the Vishaka star. And the Vishaka star has another name, which is Radha. So this star has two names, Vishaka and Radha. It refers to the same star. So because they're both born at the same time, they were given the name of the same star. It's like that, you know. Birth defines astrology. So Vishaka is super beautiful. She has a dress bedecked with stars, actually. Can you imagine? A dress with stars. Dress with stars doesn't mean they have stars that have exactly the same gap between each others. Like we could think, you know, sometimes in the modern world they make patterns, you know, for clothes. And then you will have a dress with stars, but it's patterns of stars. But this is like dress of stars, like scattered stars.
Like the galaxy.
Like the galaxy, and in their robe. Must be very beautiful, something like that. And she is so beautiful and so sweet. The 8 gopis, they are expansions of the 8 dasha, we call condition of Radhani, or state of mind of Radhani. And Vishakasi is the embodiment of Swadhina Bhartrika. Swadhina Bhartrika means the overconfident heroine, Nayika. Swadhina Bhartrika Nayika. Overconfident means, not overconfident, means super confident heroine. This is the aspect in which Radharani knows Krishna is under her control. So she behaves like this. She has full understanding that he's under her control. Sometimes she doesn't think like that. Sometimes she fears Krishna may leave her. Sometimes she feels abandoned by Krishna, but sometimes she knows that Krishna is fully under her control. And at this moment, she's called Swadhina Bhartrika. And she'll behave extremely, you know, how to say?
Boldly?
Not boldly, but freely with Krishna. She will say to Krishna, please make my bread. Or she will say to Krishna, please do this, do that, restring my necklace. She's not feeling she may displease Krishna. She will engage Krishna in her service. Swadhina Bhartrika, super confident of Krishna's surrendered heart. She knows in the core of his heart Krishna is fully surrendered. So she plays with that also. So that's Vishaka. At the same time, Vishaka is very sweet. Very, very sweet. And she has a kunj in the northeast of Radhakund. All these are things we should meditate upon, because this is a beautiful reality that exists. We should learn to meditate upon Radhakund. Of course, it requires a little purification of the mind, which is acquired by serving Guru, by sacrificing our life and energy in this world that we have to the service of Mahaprabhu's mission. Jata Jata Gora Padara Vindaya. Vindite Bhaktin Krita Punya Rashi. Tata Tata Utsarpita Ridya Kasmat. Radhapadam Bhuja Sudambu Rasi. By serving the lotus feet of Mahaprabhu with a deep devotion, according to how we serve the lotus feet of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, we will be transferred to the ocean of nectar emanating from the lotus feet of Radha in Vraj. So by serving the mission of Mahaprabhu of sharing, the holy name, of sharing Krishna with this world, we obtain the grace of inner peace that will enable us to think about Vraj. We obtain the grace of glimpse, spiritual glimpse, that will make that what we will meditate upon will not be imagination. We obtain the grace of being able to visualize when we read the books of the Goswami. They're describing Radhakund. Govinda Lilamrita describes Radhakund and all the 8 kunj. And then we can read these descriptions, but who can meditate upon them? That requires some purity. By chanting the holy name, our heart, Chetodarpana Marjanam, Bhava Mahanavagni Nirvapanam, then Shreya Kairava. This is the beginning of Shreya Kairava. That reality of Raj will start to open a little bit, like a flower blossom. Very slowly in the beginning it opens and the fragrance starts to come out. And then gradually it opens more and more and more, and the fragrance and the beauty, they become more and more perceivable. So, in the same way, she has a very beautiful kunj, the color of crystal, northeast of Radha Kund, just next to Lalita Kunj. And that's her place that she maintains. This place is a manifestation of her heart. And Lalita, Vishaka is always with Radha, like Lalita. They cannot be separate. How we say inseparable friend? Inseparable, bosom friend.
Inseparable.
Inseparable friend. Inseparable friend. Narma buddhi yadasya. Kshanama pitava sangit natyajit eva devi. O Devi. This is a verse from Vilapa Kusumanjali addressing Vishaka. He says, Radhani never gives up your association even for the fraction of a second. Kshanam api java sangit. Natyajit, and she never gives up. Natyajit eva devi. Tadasya samavayastam narma buddhi yadasya. And because you have a very similar nature, you are a very close friend. Iti sumukhi vishake darshayitva madisham. O Vishaka, who have such a beautiful face, please allow me to see the goddess of my heart. Iti sumukhi vishake darshayit bamadisham. Mama viraha hataya. Pranakurusha. Pranaraksha Kurucha. And save my life. Prana Raksha, please save my life. Because I am dying without being able to see Radha. Oh Vishaka, please give me that sight, because you are so close to her. She never gives up your company, even for 1 second. So if you are kind with me, then you can give me the darshan of Radha. You can bring me in the vicinity of Radha. So Vishaka has to become our best friend. These are the best friends that we have to select in life. You know? These are our real friends. We should not think these acharya are not here, they are here. Her name is not different from her. Let us address her by her name every day. Let us chant some verse that is also Lalita Astakam. We can chant Lalita Astakam. And there is also Vishaka Astakam. Is it? Yeah, I'm sure there is Vishaka Astakam. And in Manashiksha Raghunath Das Swami says, if we want to attain the mercy of Radha and Krishna, we should love with all our hearts Swarup Damodar and Ramananda Roy, who are Lalita and Vishaka. It's very important instruction. And Sanatan and Rupa, who are Lavanga and Rupa Manjari. And Raghunath Das Goswami, who is Rati Manjari. They should be our family. We should accept them as our first friends. Before, they must be more important for us than the living devotees surrounding us in this world, who are also our friends. First, we contact with the devotee we see in this dimension, but then we have to understand that ultimately we have to place still our hearts somewhere else. We have to place our heart at the lotus feet of Vishaka and Lalita, Ramananda Roy, and Swarup Damodar. They are more accessible in their Gora Swarup. They are more merciful. And Ramananda Roy is such a beautiful soul. So Mahaprabhu went down to the Godavari because Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya told him, you have to meet someone. Now I can, after Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya realized that Mahaprabhu was Krishna. And he said, oh, now I understand many things. You should meet Ramananda Roy. Because I spoke with him a few times before, but I couldn't understand him. But now when I realize who you are and what is what, I can understand. He's one of the greatest souls I had ever seen before. He doesn't say what Ramananda Roy told him or anything, but he's just saying to Mahaprabhu, please go and make sure you meet this person. He's not giving also indication directly, but Chaitanya Charitamrita cannot mention everything. He probably told Mahaprabhu exactly where to find Ramananda Roy. So when Mahaprabhu went south, one of the first things that Mahaprabhu did is to go to the bank of the Gandavari to meet Ramananda Roy with such eagerness. And then he sat on the bank of the Godavari, and by the will of Krishna, Ramananda Roy arrived on that very same spot, on the palanquin with all his servants and Brahmins and such a big entourage, because he was the governor of that state, Madras. And then he saw that sannyasi there, and he was surprised. Wow, this sannyasi is so shining. By the influence of Yogamaya, he couldn't recognize, but his heart was recognizing something. So he ran toward the sannyasi and paid his obeisances. And then Mahaprabhu was eyes closed, chanting the holy name, because the Godavari would remind him Yamuna river, and the forest on the bank of the Godavari would remind him of Vrindavan. So he was chanting like this after taking bath. He would chant. And then he opened his eyes and he found this person flat on the ground before him. And first thing Mahaprabhu told him, he told him, "To me, Raya, Ramananda, are you Ramananda Roy?" Like he guessed directly. So this is very beautiful meeting. And Ramananda Roy answered, "I am actually a very fallen Sudra soul of the lowest category. Some people do call me Ramananda Roy, but my real identification is that I am a Sudra of the lowest category. Please give me your mercy. You are such a great sannyasi." And I was thinking this morning how such meeting is beautiful, because this is also, Mahaprabhu is Radha. She's now meeting her most beloved friend, Vishaka. Radharani is there. And then Vishaka arrives in front of her and she says, "To me, Raya, Ramananda," which means, "To me, Vishaka." It means this. And then she's, "Wow, finally my dear friend has come." She has not seen her since she appeared in this world, Swarup Damodar was with Mahaprabhu since Mayapur, since the beginning of his pastime. I don't know in childhood if they were together, but maybe later during the kirtan, when the kirtan started, he was there. His name was Purushottam Acharya. Purushottam Acharya, I think. But Ramananda Roy was not there, so Vishaka was not there. So now Radharani, she finds back Vishaka. And then she said, "Now I want to hear from you. I've heard from Sarvabhauma." That's how we have to read Chaitanya Charitamrita. It's another reading of Chaitanya Charitamrita. There are 3 readings of Chaitanya Charitamrita, and probably more. But the first is to read it as Mahaprabhu, being Krishna himself, experiencing the love of Radha. But the predominant personality is Krishna, but he is experiencing the love of Radha. The other one is seeing Mahaprabhu as being Radharani, because Krishna became so much absorbed in Radha Bhava duty Suvalitam that he has become Radha completely. So then it can be Radha. And the other reading is that we can read Chaitanya Charitamrita, because that makes a different reading. If you read the whole story in one way or in the other way, or in both ways at the same time, if you take the time to meditate upon the verses. And the other one, there may be some other one, but the other one is Radha and Krishna combined together in equal proportion of identity. They are both there. I mean, through the eyes of Gora, Radha and Krishna are looking at you at the same time, because that's what they can do. Ekatmanavapi. Bhuvipur dehabedam gato. Even though they are eternally existing in 2 forms, 2 bodies, they are one soul. Chaitanyakam cha ekyam aptam prakatam aduno. Tadvayam chaikam aptam. Chaitanyakam prakatam aduno. Tadvayam chaikam aptam. Now these 2 souls have become one. So they are there, equally present in Gora. That's another reading of Chaitanya Charitamrita. And in Prema Samputa, Radharani tells to Krishna, this guy is Krishna. Prema Samputa is super beautiful. That's how we understand Radharani's heart. Because this is the story about Radharani revealing her heart. It's very important. Before, I always advise devotees that before reading about Krishna Lila and Vraj, you need first to read Prema Samputa, because that will set the proper understanding of Radha and Krishna. Whatever other pastime may happen must be understood upon the foundation of Prema Samputa of Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. Because in Prema Samputa you understand who is Krishna, who is Radha, who they are, how they are one soul together. And that will protect you from misunderstanding Radha and Krishna's pastime as being mundane love. She explains clearly what is the nature of their love. Then we can see the whole Radha Krishna Lila, Krishna Bhavanamrita, Gita Govinda, Govinda Lilamrita, Ujjvala Nilamani, Sankalpa, Kalpadruma, Krishna Nika Komuri, all these beautiful things about Radha and Krishna. We can see with the proper foundation of understanding by the mercy of Vishwanath, who revealed us that wonderful pastime. So she says to Krishna, some people say that because me and Krishna, we are so connected to each other, it's very difficult to see the difference between the two of us. And then she said, but actually that's not true. They don't understand me and Krishna, because actually we are the same soul. So it's not that we are we become so close that we become like non-different. We are non-different forever in every situation. That's the proper understanding, she says. So this is like Radha. She opens her eyes and sees Vishaka. Oh, Vishaka, you have come. I would like to hear from you. Sarvabhauma sent me, told me I could hear very nice Krishna Katha from you. Please tell me about Krishna. So that's what Radhani likes. She likes to hear about Krishna. If we want to become close to Radha, we have to learn the art of telling her about Krishna. Dishjaiva champakalateva chamatkitangi venudvanik vachani shamya chavivanangi sashama sundara gune. What? Dishjaiva champakalateva chamatkitangi venudvanik vachani shamya chavivanangi. Oh, I forgot the rest. She says when Radhani, she hears the fruits of Krishna, this is Radharad Sasudanidhi, Prabodhananda Saraswati Thakur, who is Tungavidya, another similar to Vishaka. He says, when Radhani, she hears the fruit of Krishna, she falls unconscious. And then I will speak into her ear about Krishna. And then I will bring her back to consciousness in that way. And when she will come back from her swoon of separation, by the nectarian katha about Krishna that I poured in her ear, she will be so happy with me that she will take me in her arm. Prita Paris Vajatumam. She will embrace me. So if we learn this how to speak about Krishna in Radharani's ear, then Radharani will take us in her embrace also. So she likes to hear about Krishna. She said to Vishaka, please let me know. And Ramananda said, yes, come to my house tonight. And then they spoke for 7 days, something like that. Day after day, day and night, they would speak about Krishna. And this amazing discussion came out, Ramananda Samvada, where Vishaka is explaining to Radha everything about the ultimate goal of life. She asked, please tell me, what is the ultimate goal of life? We can see it as Mahaprabhu is the sadhaka mood. He wants to understand what is the ultimate goal of life. But we can see it also in that way. That's also real. Radharani wants to quench her thirst of hearing about Krishna. And she's asking to Lalita, please tell me, what is the ultimate goal of life? And then if you read it like this entire pastime and discussion becomes Vraj Lila actually. So then Vishaka explaining to Radha all these beautiful things from Ramananda Samvad. He goes up to explaining all Krishna Tattva, the qualities of Krishna, how Krishna is wonderful, supremely beautiful and attractive, how Krishna is Dhira Lalita, Anukula Nayaka. That's written there. She's telling that to Radharani. Krishna is always surrendered, beloved, fully in the control of his beloved. Because she knows she's one of his beloved. Krishna also fully in control of Vishaka and Lalita and all the Astasaki. Krishna is completely under their control. Because they are Kaya Vyuha, they are body expansions of Radha. They are also there are other forms of Radha. Krishna can perceive. Mahabhav is there in their heart also. Mohanaksham Mahabhav, Adiruddha Mohanaksham Mahabhav, which is just the level before Madanaksha Mahabhav, that only Radhani has. That love only Radhani has. But prior to this, there is Mohanaksha Mahabhav, which is Modanaksha, Mohanaksha, depending on meeting and separation. Modana is meeting, Madanaksha is separation. This only Lalita Vishaka, Chitra and Dulika, the close friend of Radha, they can have this feeling. Some question? And so they are very special person for Krishna. They are not different from Radharani in one sense, because they are the 8 personification of Radharani's 8 mental condition. So Vikshaka, she's Vadina Bhartrika, she is very confident also. Super confident in speaking about Krishna. Because Vadina Bhartrika means she is confident. And she tells Radha Tadva. Then Ramananda Roy, Vishaka, she makes this super beautiful description of Radharani, quoting Raghunath Das Goswami, Premambuja poem, Rajastotram, which is considered by the Vaishnava to be the king of all poems. This is the description of Radharani by describing Radharani in terms of her inner feelings. And he says, probably you have already read that from Chaitanya Charitamrita. Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami is rewriting, he's paraphrasing the poem of Raghunath Das Goswami. He's rewriting it exactly the same thing, but with his own words. Some slight difference are there, but he's Kasturi Manjari, so he can do so close to Rati Manjari. They can write the same things. Radharani takes her first bath in the morning in the nectar of compassion. At noon she takes her second bath in the nectar of useful beauty. And in the evening she takes her third bath in the nectar of bodily effulgence, which technically in Sanskrit are called how we call this? Karuna, Taruna, Lavanya. First bath is Karunamrita, the nectar of compassion. Second bath is Tarunyamrita, nectar of youthful beauty. And third bath is Lavanyamrita, nectar of radiance. Lavanya is one quality of the gopis. It is described as a pearl-like effulgence. How can we understand? Only we can understand Rasa Tattva and Rasa Kata only to the point of our own realization. Then we need to go through meditation, and Bhajan will show us what words can't describe. Meditation on the words of the Acharya will unfold and let us perceive, first as abhas, then as glimpses, this reality. What is Lavanya? The shine of Radhani's body. And then he's describing so many beautiful things about Radhani. That's Vishaka describing all Radhani's glories. And then she explained Prema Tattva, Vilasa Tattva, and then she comes and Radhani always saying, Mahaprabhu saying, okay, that's very good. What is further? Please tell me more. Please tell me more. And at some point Ramananda said to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, well, I don't know anyone asking anything further than this. I don't know anyone in this world could answer asking something more. But if you're insisting, that's Vishaka, we see, in this way. If you're insisting, or rather, there is something maybe more I could say. But you asked me to quote Shastras. She was always quoting. For that one, I can't quote Shastra. So I don't know if you will accept it or not. But still, she says it. I don't know if you will be happy with it or not. Because she knew that verse, she knew that something also may embarrass Radhani. So she starts saying this beautiful song. This is the song of Ramananda Raya, describing what we call Prema Vilasa Vivarta, the transcendental role transformation between Radha and Krishna. When Radha and Krishna, they revert themselves into one another. We could say it like this.
Yeah.
Then Radha becomes Krishna and Krishna becomes Radha, or both of them becomes completely combined, different aspect of Prema Vilas Vivat. Then Mahaprabhu put his hand on Ramananda Roy's mouth, like Radhani putting his. It's beautifully written by Kaviraj Goswami. He writes Sri Hasta, his divine hand. Hasta means the hand. He is the Sri Hasta, his divinely transcendental hand. It's interesting because when he's saying Sri means also Radha. So when he's saying he's putting his Radha hand on the mouth of Vishaka. That's what it means if we want to see things deeper. So Radha said to Vishaka, okay, that's okay. We will finish the discussion here, which exactly corresponds to the kind of mood and exchanges that they have between Radha and her girlfriend. They like to glorify and speak about Krishna, and then they go too far and they become embarrassed, and then she says, okay, that's finished. Now we'll do something else. The topic doesn't need to go further. Let's do some garlands. It's the festival of the sun today, isn't it? No need to gossip about this kind of things. We're losing our time. You know, this is embarrassment. How we call transitory ecstasy, or feeling that Vyabhichari Bhav appearing, and then she feels, okay, no, change topic. So this is Vishaka, how she is with Radha. because she described the heart of Radha a little bit too far. That's why Radhani say, okay, that's no need to. Radhani doesn't like her heart to be, how to say, to be broadcast or shown publicly like this. Even in, of course, this is never shown publicly, only in the very most intimate group of her girlfriend, but still she has some shame. She's Raja, how we say? Raja Devi? Lajavati. That's the name of Radhani. She's very shy. So she feels shy. At this time, this is Vyabhichari Bhav, transitory feeling that covers Radhani's heart and consciousness at some time, and she said, okay, no need to say. Even though her girlfriends, they already know and they're fully qualified to hear. Sometimes this is the way to say yes is to say no, you know? Sometimes when you say to someone, never read this book, you know that person will read it. Because that person will think, why he doesn't want me to read this book? There must be something in this book. Or, okay, you understand what I mean. So, and then they went into some other beautiful topics for 7 days. Such a beautiful exchange between Radha and Vishaka. We can also see the whole thing back, flashback, we are on the bank of the Godavari. And this is actually Krishna experiencing Radha and his love. And then he opens his eyes and he sees Vishaka in front of him. To me, Ramananda, which means, oh, are you Vishaka? Krishna recognizes her like this. And then Krishna wants to learn because he has come as Gora in order to experience Radha in his heart, isn't it? So who can teach him Radha's heart, Radha Bhav, better than Vishaka and Lalita? So he needs them. Please be my teacher. Please tell me everything about Radha and his love. And he's asking this in this form. Please tell me what is the ultimate goal of life. And then she will start to explain. Same thing. Describing the beauty of Krishna, describing the beauty of Radha, and then coming to describe this beauty of their love. And then Krishna places his hand on Vishaka's mouth. Or could be Radha who interferes at this time, because she is also there in the body of Mahaprabhu. And so, okay, Lalita, Vishaka, you don't need to say all these things to Krishna. Not up to that, you know. Or maybe who says, don't go that far because he may not be able to support that. Like Abhiram Thakur, he had this whip. Who has a name? What is the name? Jai Mangal, something like that, the name of his whip. And he would give prema to all the people he would whip with. And it is said that Srinivasacharya got prema in this way when he visited Abhiram. And Abhiram, how to say in the past? Whipped him. Abhiram whipped him. And then Srinivasacharya became so ecstatic. Such symptom of ecstasy appeared in his body and heart that the wife of Abhiram Thakur, she came and she said, no, stop. You can't whip him more. He may not be able to support that level of prema. So don't whip him anymore. So in the same feeling, maybe Radhan is saying to Vishaka, hey, be careful. We want Krishna to experience my love, but this is just the beginning, you know. Let him later in Jagannath Puri, when he will be in the Gambhira. Then Mahaprabhu saying to Ramananda, okay, now you can sell everything and you please come to Jagannath Puri. I'll be there soon. We will meet again, and day and night we'll continue speaking like what we just have done. So this is Radhani saying to Vishaka, okay, now that finished, governor, everything, now you come with me. You tell me about Krishna. My ears are dry. My heart is dry like a desert. Please pour upon the desert of my heart the shower of Krishna Katha. Tell me about Krishna. Or this could be Krishna. Or this is both, all these things at the same time. Krishna saying to Vishaka, please come and teach me Radhani's love. I will be in Puri. Please cancel everything and come. And then she comes. Ramananda Roy comes to Puri. And then there she is. There she ends with actually we don't know when Ramananda Roy left his body. We just know today is his disappearance day. I never heard where, how long after Mahaprabhu's disappearance Ramananda Roy disappeared. We know Swarup Damodar disappeared briefly after, 1 year maximum, on the day of Ratha Yatra. But we don't know Ramananda Roy. Anyway, so then in the Gambiram we could also continue speaking about Ramananda Roy so much, because he's so much present there. It is said that Mahaprabhu attained such a level of feeling of separation from Krishna that only he would be maintained in life by Ramananda Roy's quoting verses and Swarup Damodar singing about Krishna. These two things, they were keeping him alive, otherwise he would have died. This is what Krishna has come to show us. Prema is a near-death experience. How we call this? NGE. They call this, when people leave their body and they are declared dead, and then they come back. I call this near-death experience, NDE. Same thing. Prema is a near-death experience. Mahaprabhu was living on the verge of death every moment. Because Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami writes, and Srila Govinda Maharaj loved to quote this, Krishna, when he was in Jagannath Puri, that means that's the last part of his life, when he was residing in Gambhira, he was exactly in the same mood of Radha when Krishna left for Mathura. So that's the constant mood, feeling, experience of Gauranga. Now Krishna is experiencing to the very highest level of love of Radha in separation, which is called Mohanaksha Mahabhav, when the feeling of separation is so powerful that the entire universe becomes caught in it and start to cry. In Prema Vilas, it is written, who wrote Prema Vilas? Nityananda Das. In Prema Vilas, Nityananda Das writes that at the last, during the last part of his life, Mahaprabhu became so much absorbed in the separation of Krishna that earthquakes started to happen in Jagannath Puri, and the building would collapse. There were earthquakes regularly, and the people started to become very concerned, and they were saying, what's happening? We never had this in Jagannath Puri. And they said, this is because of this sannyasi who arrived, and he's now residing in Jagannath Puri. It's because of him. We should go and see him. So they went to Mahaprabhu and say, please, stop your experience because you will destroy the entire city. That's Muranaksha Mahabhav, when the feeling of separation is so too strong that the entire universe drones into that feeling of separation. So Krishna had to experience that. Radhani is letting Krishna access the unicity of her love. Shri Radhaya Pranaya Mahima Kidrishim Vanaya Eva. That only her has. And then Vishaka was there, helping this Krishna to survive. Okay, Krishna, you know that pastimes in Prema Vilas also, Krishna asked to Radha, I want to beg something from you. She said, yes, whatever you want. He said, I want your love. And then Radharani said, no, I can give you everything, Shyam, but not this. Why? She said, because you won't be able to support this and I don't want to harm you. I don't want you to be sad. I don't want you to suffer. I won't give you my love. And plus, you would not be able to bear it. Krishna said, but please, oh Devi, please, this is what I'm begging to you. Everything else seems much less important to me. I want to obtain this, your love. And she said, no, do you think Vishaka he can, or Lalita, do you think he can handle my love? She says, no, no way he will survive that. So no, I'm sorry, we're not going to do that. We're not going to do this pastime, oh Shyam. You're always asking too much, There are some things you can't know, and you have to accept that it is like that. And we do love you. We're ready to give you everything, but we won't give you something that may harm you and that you may not survive. Please understand. Just simple feeling of our love. But Krishna insisted, no, please, how can you refuse me to give me access to your heart? I'm giving you everything, Krishna says. You have to open me your heart also. That's an argument, Radhani cannot stand in front of that. So she said, okay, let you experience my love, but I will cover you with my own form in order to protect you and make sure that you will be able to handle that. It's like, when you go to the hellish planet, you need a special body to be able to handle the suffering and not die. Like this, they can inflict a lot of suffering, and then you suffer, but you don't die, because our material body can only be suffering up to a certain level, then we leave our body. So in the hellish planet, we would leave our body very quick, and actually, in order to make it last, we receive a material body suitable for suffering, but that doesn't die. So same thing, same principle. Radharani says, okay, but if I do this in order to protect you and to make sure that you can handle my love, then I will have to come and to cover you. I protect you with my own body. That's why Gauranga became golden, and he took Radhabhad in his heart, and then Duty Suvalitam, her complexion, she embraced him, she, covered him with her own body. That means she's taking the things upon her. She will maintain him in life, and she will take the things, how we go? She will take the shaft. No, she will take
The brunt.
the brunt. Let's say like this, on her. The blows. She will take all this on her, not to harm Krishna too much. Or she will let him experience because he wants to experience, but she knows she can bear the experience and survive. So she will be the shield of Krishna in order to help him bear the experience and survive. We say in the material world, when the woman, they gave birth to a child, they go through a suffering that a male body would not be able to endure. Male body would die. So the woman body, they have a special hormone that protects them from this suffering. And the male body, they don't have this hormone. I mean, they have a special thing that keep them alive while going through this body. Whereas if a man would have to experience that same level of suffering, he would die. So women can suffer more than man, according to Shastra. And we have to tell this to the woke people that may discourage them. Anyway, they can't give birth. We never know what they can do in this material world. They can invent everything. But back to the beautiful reality of Raj, she shielded Krishna with her duty Suvhalitam. And then allowed Krishna to experience the infinity of her love up to the highest degree. But still she was there, shielding him. Still she was there in the form of Gadadhar, not far away, making sure that daily, when you go through difficult, you have to consult doctor regularly. You do your experience, your treatment at home and this, but still you have to go back to the doctor regularly to make sure, am I doing well, doctor? Doctor will say, okay, that's okay, continue. But when Krishna goes to hear Bhagavatam from Radha, she's teaching him. And then when he goes in Gambhira, now experiencing, now you become completely Radha. Different phases. You see how these two aspects, they are always here in Gaur-Lila, and they are always either shifting from one aspect to the other aspect, but pretty much also simultaneously present and simultaneously going on, two pastimes going on. Radharani is teaching Krishna, Krishna experiencing Radharani's love, and Radharani experiencing it completely because now Krishna has become Radha. And also Radha and Krishna combined, having this exchange. All these beautiful things are revealed to sincere chanters of the holy name, because the holy name Ninja Sarva Shakti. When we say this, doesn't speak about the power of Krishna. Ninja Shakti of Krishna is Antaranga Shakti. And she will, so it's there in the holy name. That means the heart of Radharani is there in the holy name. The holy name can reveal to us anything, even the heart of Radha. They have put in the holy name everything. Radharani has placed, Radha and Krishna, they have placed everything, their heart in the Maha Mantra, in their names, so in the Maha Mantra. So we can access to that. That's why Mahaprabhu always chanting the holy name. That's why also Radha is chanting the holy name when Krishna left Mathura. to survive. They are not chanting like us in order to make a sadhana or to try to tame the mind, the crazy mind, by making it still for a few seconds or 1 hour in the morning. They're chanting in order not to die, in order to survive to the separation of Krishna. So she is there shielding Krishna. Still she has Lalita and Vishaka there also protecting Krishna. You're there, take care. I'm shielding him, you help him to experience. Tell him. Working, tell him. So they're just driving Krishna through Radha Prem by chanting, reciting. They would recite Gita Govinda's verses, Krishna Karnamrita's verses, Chandidas poems, and Vidyapati's poems, and Jagannath Vallabha Natka own writing of Ramananda Roy. So this is just a little glimpse of Vishaka's personality. We could say so many other things. There is this very beautiful poem called Vishaka Ananda Da Abdi Stotram. Raghunath Das Goswami wrote in Stavavali. The verses are the words that give unlimited bliss to Vishaka. So she's there always. She's Radharani's second half or second whole, Vishaka. And we want her to become our eternal well-wisher. Like Prabhupada, we want Prabhupada to remain our eternal well-wisher in Vraj also. And we want also Vishaka. We want also Lalita. We need a lot of well-wisher. The more well-wisher we will have from there, the more we will be introduced there. But we have to give them a space, little space in our life every day. To Ramananda Roy, offering some flower in meditation. This is called Manasa Puja. In meditation, we think, even though we cannot visualize properly Ramananda Roy, Swarup Damodar, maybe in the beginning, because we've never seen them. Still we do it, and that will come. Realization will come by doing. We've tried to visualize how we read from Chaitanya Charitamrita. They look like Vaishnavas. They're very much golden, like Mahaprabhu also. Super beautiful. They have also the bodily symptoms of Mahapurusha. Big eyes, all this. They are divine personalities. So we can just meditate upon them, offer them some beautiful lotus garland, jasmine garland, or any flower that is nice. Lilac is beautiful. We have also beautiful flowers in the West. Or roses. Roses fit very well to Krishna. Krishna is beautiful with roses, and he loves roses. Rose was the favorite fragrance of Prabhupada. Rose. So we can do that little thing and calling for their mercy and telling them, I want to have you in my life. Will you have me in your life? And then we have to give them space, and then more space, and then more space, and then more space. And why not? It's like Matsya, You put him in a small pool, he will take the side of the pool. You put him in a pond, he will take the side of the pond. You put him in a lake, then he became big as a lake. What's the name of this king? Who find that Matsya, fish, little fish in the beginning? I I can't remember it also. Anyway, so Krishna is like that also, his associate. They're like that, they're very beautiful, but we should be inviting them in our heart and reading their words, reading Chaitanya Charitamrita about Ramananda Roy, then we will know him more and more. Jai, we could say much more about Vishaka and Ramananda Roy, but at some point we have to stop in this world because this is the, how to say, this is the fate of the material world, that time never stops. And our body are not able to go through time without interruption. There must be, even in Krishna Lila, there is always some time interruption happening. Vrinda Devi, she's taking care that the Lila has to go on. Otherwise, Radha and Krishna, they often also become stunned, and without external help, they could stay like this for eternity. So Vrinda Devi as Lila Shakti is making sure that, okay, we have to continue. I was thinking this morning, how Vrinda Devi, she wakes up Radha and Krishna in the Kunj in Nidhuvan. It's very painful for them, to wake up. Mangalarti is a very sad moment of the day. And if you read Krishna Nika Komudi, how Kavi Kanapur describes when Radha and Krishna, they awaken in Vrindavan forest, they're crying torrents of tears. And their separation is very, very painful, very sad. How would Vrinda Devi initiate such a suffering? Because she knows if she doesn't do that, then some more suffering will come. They will be caught, and then they will never be able to see each other again. That will be a greater suffering. So for the sake of preventing a greater suffering, she has to order something that will cause them pain. Difficult choice to do, but she does it for the sake of love, and that's the best reason. She's the best reason. So we pray to Vishaka that she can accept us and teach us singing. Raghunath Das Goswami prays that Vishaka may teach him to sing, because she is expert in teaching singing songs. In one of the kunj on the border of Radharani's divine lake in Vraj, one day, by the mercy of Srila Prabhupada, our Guru Maharajas, and our Acharyas, Gauranga, and the holy name of Radha and Krishna, who are all incarnations of Radha and Krishna's love and heart, being offered to us. By their mercy, one day we will be able to experience that and to meet Vishaka face to face. Then we will know what is the Vishaka experience. Then we will know what is the love of Vishaka. And then we will know what is to love Vishaka. We will wait for this day. Kabe habe bolose dinamar. We have to cry. This is a very important ingredient of everything we're doing. The crying must be there. Unless we cry, we won't be able to meet Vishaka anytime. They are accessed by crying. The love of Radha and Krishna has been given to us Jaho Tumi Lagi, for us to take it. How do we take it?
Mantra.
But the way to take the Harinam mantra is the crying. At Markrandan, our tears are the price to pay. Tatra loliam, apimoliam, ekanam. There is only one price. This is loliam. And loliam is a feeling, but this feeling is actually also accompanied by flow of tears, endless flow of tears. We need to cry, otherwise it's not loliam. Eagerness means crying. When someone is not crying for something, then it's not called yet eagerness. It's good desire, but eagerness, raga. Raga means krandana. That is a crying. We can't support, we can't be to continue living without this grace. Then we will be able to see. Jai. Shri Ramananda Raya ki jai, Shri Vishakadevi ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Nitai Gaur Premanande. Adai